Let's go down Western Avenue. Now, you ever eat at Vivian's?
Yes.
Right. I used to eat at Vivian's. It's on 69th, right?
We all used to eat at Vivian's.
Right.
Good
but at some point, it wasn't cool for you to cross that street to go to Vivian's.
Right.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about that. Like, what could be done now? So I remember watching, I used to live on 66 and Dinker. For whatever reason, my mother thought that we were going to move to a better neighborhood on 63rd and Crenshaw. But what she did was took us out the north side A-Tray and put us in the heart of the rolling 60s.
And how would she know?
She didn't know. She told me to go to the store. I'm not going to the store. I ain't give a damn what you say.
See, back then, when your parents moved, especially back then, right? A lot of parents was from the South. Mm-hmm. So all they know is the struggle from the South. They don't know anything about gangs. So when they move in the neighborhood, they just looking at, this house look nice. Mm-hmm. But
nice neighborhood.
Growing up as youngsters, we look our surroundings. We know what we around. Yeah. So we looking at, hey, look, Ma, I can't go over here. It's all just nonsense. Go there and get a store, get that milk and bread.
Right.
And then you come back, what happened to the milk and bread? Somebody took it.
Yeah.
You better go back and get it.
Right. That's it. That was my mama right there telling me to go fight.
And truthfully, I lived that life. I was born in the city. I could go anywhere I wanted to. But when my oldest boy went to the liquor store one night and came back empty-handed, all upset, it's like, son, what happened to what you went to go get? Oh, they took it from me and threatened my life.
You better. I'm a little older than your son, so back in the days, I was just going to have to fight. I was going to get, but they wasn't shooting yet. So I'm talking about like 74, 75. We lived on 66. We used to go to the market on Normandy and 67th Street. Mm-hmm. Quan's Market. Yep, we used to go to Quan's. But as time evolved, right, 3rd and Crenshaw, now it's going down. Now y'all done started shooting each other and stuff. And I'm going to say y'all because he already know who got shot and he said it was you. So, so the thing is, times change.
Yeah, times change.
Times have changed, and it's no longer about fighting. It's no longer about intimidation. No. And now it's about, so what happened then?
Let's talk about.
You guys remember last year when so glorified. Now, I know you guys remember last year when Soulja Boy and Chris Brown was fighting over Fruittown Piru, right? And Soulja Boy out there like, I'm from the turf, this and that, and, all that type of stuff. It's so glamorized now that we got people in Palos Verdes who, one of the biggest neighborhoods around is the neighborhood CRIPS, rolling 60s. So people in Palos Verdes want to be a part of that. You got, matter of fact, I was in jail 2004 and there was a dude, an Iranian dude. I'm doing a violation. Big U was in there too. He was doing a violation. And there was an Iranian dude who told me he was from 60s. Told me he let off, he was facing life. And his mother and father were doctors. They live in the Overhills. He got a nice big house. And I'm like, man, what the are you doing, man? What is you really doing? You didn't have to do this.
But see, people join out of fear. People, it's like when the gangs really got big, people started to join gangs out of fear to keep from being a victim. Yeah. See, when I got the Horseman, right? Yeah. When I got the Horseman in junior high in the early 70s, right? And I used to see a group of kids, they used to be moving like a bunch of bees. Like 30, 35 in a group moving. So I said, why are they moving like that? They say, look, if you just move with the group, right, then you won't be a victim.
Right, there it is.
So I'm looking at them, right, I said, this looks crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the idea to think that my child needed protection to get home from school.
Going to the Catholic school. Yeah. Do you know why I know all these people that I know from out that neighborhood? Because I had to walk to go to Catholic school. That, with them salt and pepper pants and that white shirt made me a victim anyway. Period. Yeah. I had to fight. So I'm not going to go down 67. I'm going to go down 68. Right. But in the middle of the block, right across the street from Horseman, I don't know who lived, that second, third house from the corner.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who it was, but whoever it was. Now, I got to fight him. Yeah, so when I get to 68, right before Cimarron, it's cool. That part is cool. But as I'm coming around, I got to look out for the John L, JD, all the Arlington boys. I got to look out for the Springers. If I walk down 66, I got to look out for Stacy and Stanley, the twins, So it's on every block there was somebody who wanted to victimize
This
somebody.
is what's so crazy. Look how things changed in your generation from what generation, right, and you was admiring him. He
was skinny, and they were scared of him. So I was skinny, so I wanted them to be scared of me.
You want people to be scared of you too.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? When towards the late 1960s, a lot of brothers stopped being scared. Due to riots, watch riots, they stopped being scared. black power this, this here and that. And they start being scared. So they didn't have no more, the Deep South, waving a handkerchief over my head, step and fetch it. Those days was over with. But here's the problem with that. Once you stop being scared and you start taking on this tough persona or this image, then you let it get out of hand. I'm tougher than you. I'm tougher than you. That it ain't no different from a lynch mob. A lynch mob be scared to come at you, but all it takes is one person to pump it up.
Right.
Once he pump it up, everybody else is tough.
That influence.
The same thing with gangs. Once you get one person to say, hey, look, this is what we're going to start. We're going to start this gang here, right? Someone say, I don't know, man. And then I say, look, man, all we need is 5 good, good dudes. So if you can get 5 to follow you, right, those 5 can get 15. And before you know it, you're not scared anymore. But here's the problem. Now you start taking on the role as I'm tougher than this group. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to take your money. I'm going to take your bike, and you ain't going to do nothing to me because you're 15 deep.
Right.
Now, when another gang pops up and gets the same strength, right, you feel threatened because you think this gang is going to try to punk your gang. So now what ends up happening is y'all settle it out to be cordial with each other, just as long as y'all don't step over each other's toes. But it's always one person.
Right.
It's always one person in that gang, the ignorant person, that nobody wants to check, nobody wants to control, and it's all about, well, if we got to roll with the homie whether he's right or wrong. No, right. Because if he's wrong, he's wrong. So now, if this guy steps on this turf's toes, what's going to happen is they're going to tell him, y'all got to do something about him. They can say, well, that's the homeboy. We can't do nothing to him. Right. Now y'all get ready to go to war.
Yeah. Right.
See, a lot of it is what happened. That's what happened in the early 70s with us. I mean, in the late 70s with us. What happened was we was tight. Us in 83rd Streets, 60s, we were tight. All it took was that one shooting.
Behind the Hobart Club?
Yeah. It took that one shooting, and nobody couldn't come to agreement to bringing the shooter forward. So, like anybody who loses a brother or a sister, that person is going to get mad. He's going to get upset because we feel like you trying to hide the shooter. Right. So anyway, that escalated. Yes, now, when that escalated, now here's the chain. It's like the chain reaction. It's like 2 big major countries, right? Germany want to help this country. That country want to help this country. It's no different with the gang. Wow. This gang want to help us because we on this side of town.
What you're
this
really
gang going to help them because we like them better.
You're talking
that messed up everybody's thought pattern, thinking, and everything. Then everybody was just doing anything to get a hit. Yeah. Whether it was scandalous or whether it was robbery or just whatever, breaking in your neighbors' houses that you grew up with. So, and I used to tell everybody, drugs made everybody just either become cowards or become dope fiends. Yeah. I mean, there was people in school that I never thought would just go down to homeless,
But think about this. So back in the days, like I say, I'm watching the dudes who got the muscles, who could fight and this and that. And those were the leaders of the area. The dude who could fight, 69th Street boys. That dude was the leader, right? Because he fighting. I never had a fight with KODY. But I fought his brother. I fight Todd Wesley, Mike Warsaw. I fought everybody on their block, but I never fought him, right? Because he was the leader and he would just send them or whatever, right? But when drugs came, now the toughest dude ain't the leader. It's the dude with the most money. The dude with the most influence now is the dude got the Benz, the BMW, the one who got the sack.
That's and I think
that was another downfall because now there's no structure. Now there's no fear of this dude. Man, you could fight, but I'll shoot you. You come across me now. Now I'm not about to fight you. I'm not about to fight none of your peoples. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot you if you come at me wrong. Yeah. So that too took a lot out of it. When it had to be a fight, because see, growing up, I had to fight. Going to Dorsey. I went to Dorsey. I had to fight to get home, to get to the bus stop, go past Crenshaw. I got to fight going past Crenshaw. When that was over with and everybody got guns, I think now the coward becomes the tough dude. The coward becomes the dude in charge because he got money and he got a following. He got the influence.
But here's the problem about that. See, when somebody find out that he's the one sending these guys on missions, here, look, man, here's $50,000, go knock such and such off. Now, the guy that don't have no money, He looking like, well, I'm gonna just knock off that dude. Or take what he got, because that's what ended up going on later on. We said, okay, this guy right here, he was a buster coming up. He was weak. Now he got a little money in the car, and he think he's telling these dudes to go do something. Okay, instead of getting his little minions, we're gonna go get him. See, now he never been tough. Now he got to flee for his life. Yeah, because he'd never been in a fist fight or a gunfight.
That's
it works bad
war. Yeah, it does. You know what? This was just
up out of proportion because that was something unseen. Right. They didn't know that 1979 was on his way. So they made that like really, really, really the just disastrous. When 79 hit, anything that happened back in the early 70s was minute to what happened in 79 because it got worse. It exploded. It did. People were dropping.
You know what? My reference beginning of the Ghetto Bird.
Yeah,
I hear gunfire all night long. All night long, rapid gunfire coming from the east. And what surprised me was the level of arms that were being used. The rapid gunfire, what the hell? That's an automatic weapon.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, and wait a minute, but they're shooting automatic weapons at each other. That's the point I'm trying to make. So it caught my attention, but it wasn't on my block yet. Not yet, but it was coming that way. See, so we raised our children trying to migrate through the environments surrounding them, and it's all the kids that they grew up with. It's a whole neighborhood. And when you say that the money was the appeal in those years, it was, because all the young men that our kids grew up with, not all of them, but a majority of them, followed the guy with the money. Yeah, they joined for the money, not because they want to be so hard and I want to go kill the guy on the other side of the street. No, I want to be like him.
Right.
I want to be in that arena, you know. So something strange took over us, changed our men, put them against each other. That's what was new.
Well, like I say, if you take, it's like I'm gonna give you an example. And my father used this analogy one time. He said it was a dog one time, and another dog was jumping on this dog when he was tearing that dog up. So another dog was in the back looking at this. So he didn't go help the dog that was getting towed up. He helped the dog that was tearing the other dog up. And it's like the same thing when you got one group, just one race. Say you put them in a sports arena, the same race. That day, everybody's going to be cordial. They're going to look at each other. They're going to see what each other about. And give it 1 week, they're going to be fighting each other because there's nobody else to fight.
Hey, that's what I said. I realized that in the gang module. When there's nobody else to trip on, we turn and trip on each other. We turn and trip on each other.
Look, let me tell you something, man. It's no different from when you're in a cell and you get a person to come in your cell and you hadn't seen him since school. He was one of your boys. Y'all get up there, y'all talk and laugh about how y'all used to go to clubs, do this and do that and do this. But after a while, those stories get old. So as soon as he says something that you don't like, you snap at him. And he's like, hey, man, I thought we were cool. Yeah, man, but I don't want to hear it today.
Yeah.
See, you only can sit up there and listen to and be around a certain person for so long before his company gets old and stale. Yeah. So it's the same thing back in the days when that area was predominantly black. We didn't have nobody else to trip on. So we tripped on each other. But now, over a course of years, due to the fact is, you know, you got the Hispanics that moved in now, and especially in the prison system, right? Now, after the LA riots, a lot of the black gangs in prison ended up banding together because now they finally had realized we can't fight each other because every other race is going to turn on us.
Yes.
Right. See, they finally realized it, but it took the LA riots to finally figure that. Now, don't get me wrong. We tried to band together when something happened back before the LA riots. But after the LA riots, a lot of guys kind of woke up and said, hey, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Look what's going on out there in the streets.
Look what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? Look what happened. Look how they treat us when it comes to us getting pulled over for to pull out your wallet. Like Richard Pryor once said, you know, I'm reaching for my wallet to not get shot. He made that statement back in the 70s, and it's still true to this day.
Philando Castile.
Right.
Philando Castile.
He's reaching for his car. He wasn't even reaching for his weapon. He reaching for his legal
permit to carry. The permit to carry, right.
Exactly.
You see, and so
Or unless some judge just got ridiculous and just gave you a flat 300. See, now you can go to jail, get a life sentence for non-murder.
Right.
All you got to do is just strike out.
Yeah. Right.
25 for that strike. You're going to get 15 for this, for carrying that. Or you're going to get 1 year for each bullet that was in the gun. Right. You was a gang member, 10 year enhancement. By the time they add it up to about, 75, 85 years to life, you know what I'm saying? Now you're ready to cut your wrist. But the thing about it is, you should have thought about that at the start.
Well, this is a good part to get you to talk about being involved in that Scared Straight program, because I've always believed
them, right? We caught the kids that was coming from junior high, sometimes elementary school, junior high school, and sometimes high school. And sometimes you can catch them before, if you give them a dose, and when I say a dose of reality, and sometimes what I used to do is, right, to let them know what prison was really like, I would get the guards first and say, look, man, I'm getting ready to do something, right? Y'all just roll with me, right? So I'll sit up there and tell the kids, hey, look, check this out. We're not trying to force you to do anything, but we letting you know if you come to prison, you know what I'm saying, you probably will be violated one way or another, be robbed, you might be raped, and I asked one youngster, I said, what would you do if you went in the cell and there's a 300-pound guy breathing on your back and talking about he want to take your ass? You know what he told me? I would do nothing. I said, see, that's what I'm talking about. You be out here screwing up, getting in trouble, but let this 300-pound guy,
you don't let him rape you.
You said you was going to do nothing. See, this goes to show you only tough on the street, but you're not tough in prison. Then I did this. Why? I used to tell him, I said, look, you youngsters come up here, right? Some of them try to smack their teeth. I say, look, check this out. I'm not the one. I said, I may not never get out. I said, now you may smack your teeth with me, and I might hit you in the face with this soda. And I said, see your parents back there? Your parents back there? I might go back there and whoop their ass on GP.
Yeah.
And everybody start laughing, but see, it may not be funny because I may not be in a good mood that day. So I told him, I said, just because your parents here, they can't save your ass.
No.
You in an environment we can take off on you right now. All you can do is just go home and throw some alcohol on your wounds and just don't come back.
Don't come back.
So I told the youngsters, I said, look, let me tell you something. This is not a game. I said, don't think you coming in here to do exercises. You getting ready to run the track all day. You getting ready to go in here and get politicked on. I said, you're going to be told, I said, you got inmate rules, you got prison rules. And either one of them is no good. The only difference between the inmate rules is you can lose your life. If you come in here too weak, you're going to be preyed on. If you come in here too strong, somebody's going to try you.
Yeah.
I said, if you run around in somebody else's business, you're going to get stabbed. If you come in here snitching, you're going to get stabbed. I said, either way it goes, you're going to have a bad time in here. Yeah. If a riot jump off in here and you're not out there front and center mandatory yard,
oh yeah, you're going to get done.
You can sit up there and say, hey, I had a stomach ache. I was cooking the top ramen. It wasn't done yet. You're going to get your ass toe up, handed to you. Right. And every time you go to a different prison, it's like already. A pipeline come down, like they already had a cell phone before they was invented. They're going to say, this guy ran in the riot.
Yeah,
right. And every yard you go to, they're going to be whooping your ass until you finally go to the guard and say, look, I had enough. I need to get off this yard.
That's why they got so many special need yards now.
They politically called S&Y, sensitive needs yard.
Right.
Well,
you know what?
The juvenile screw up, the next stop is adult prison. Because if they leave them in there long enough, right, to where they screw up, then they say, well, you just didn't graduate. It's not like you graduated from the 9th to the 10th.
Oh, yeah, they don't go home. And that's what Marcus said, too. Marcus said that when he came in, he went in at 17 years old.
Yep.
And, he eventually graduated, went to the other yard. But listen, we're going to run out of time. So what I want to do, I want to give you at least a minute, brother. What is the message that you want to leave to young people who's going to watch this? The young people watching it now, is there anything you could leave them with, man, so that we...
The only thing I can leave them with right now in this quick short of time is, look, do not, if you can help it, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, I'm trying to tell you what to expect. And what I just told you is what you're going to expect when you get in there. Once they throw that life sentence on you, it ain't no do-overs. You can holler and scream and hold on to the door, but when you get in there, catch that chain, and you go to the prison system, it's a wrap. Only thing you can do is learn to take care of yourself. But if you don't want to go through any of this, just get you a job, stay out, do the best thing you can to stay alive in the community, especially where we live. and just enjoy life. Because when you go in there at 21 and then you come out at 50, you can't get that time back. Those are years that you will never, ever get back. And when you get out, you're going to be upset because you're going to be looking back on all the things you have missed. Getting kids, getting your own home, getting a car. That's what make you really angry.
Yes.
So to avoid all this, I know jobs is hard to get, but ain't nothing worth going to prison for. Right. Nothing could be worth that. Especially what it is now. It's horrible. Right. And it's going to get worse.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, Brother Leo. Appreciate you being here.